Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. On today's episode, we are going to talk about the Lions beating the Falcons 20-6. It's a lot a better performance out of the Lions defense than what I expected, which we'll talk about, because we're going to hit on three things that I took away from this game that I appreciate. Now, just a disclaimer, I am a Dolphin fan. They scored 70, so I'm pretty happy about that. But the Lions have been my second team. They're my dad's team. I've been rooting for the Lions my entire life because I want my dad to be happy. So I'm probably going to use that disclaimer every time I do a Lions video because people are going to be like, well, you got Dolphins. But anyway, so let's go into the three things about the Detroit Lions that I took away from this game. The first thing is I've been pretty critical of the Lions when it comes to their first round of the draft. And although Gibbs, showed up, he had 17 carries for 80 yards, so he did fine. And I think Campbell had a sack, but I want to just give a lot of credit to Brad Holmes in that front office for the second round picks that they've seen to hit on. Brian Branch already making a big difference, with CJ injured. He's all over the field. I love the play where Algier knocked him over. And then the very next play, he got into the backfield and just stuffed Algier in the backfield for a 2 or 3 yard loss. Amazing play by him. He was all over the field, and I don't even think that penalty, they called the penalty on him, I think, on B when he hit Bijan Robinson. That was a bad call. Sam Laporta also showed up in this game. He had 8 catches for 84 yards, including that 45-yard touchdown. He's already a focal point in this offense, and I love to see it. Interestingly, the Lions only had 4 individuals on their team that caught a football today, which is kind of mind-blowing. No, Reynolds didn't get a catch, and I guess that's usually one that you expect to see on there. I don't know if there's another one. But anyway, second round, it seems like the Lions hit on that round of the draft this year. And if the first round players can kind of get to the point where they're being more and more effective every week, we can kind of justify, or in my own head, I can kind of justify what they did in the second round, considering what they did in the first round, equal out, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, so that's my first thing. My second thing about this team I took away from the game is the defense. The defense. Oh, just real quick, Brian Branch, 11 total tackles. I mean, he was all over the place, and 3 for losses. But the defense was so good today. They had 1 sack coming into the game. They leave the game with 7 sacks. Now, I want us to be cautiously optimistic as people who root for the Lions, because part of it is the Falcons' offensive line is not very great, and part of it is Ritter does hold on to the ball a little long. But it's also good that the Lions showed in this game that they can get to the quarterback. I still think they probably should go out and spend a resource on getting another pass rusher before the trade deadline. We'll talk about that in a later video, but I really appreciate what they did. And they also did not allow a touchdown all game. I think that's huge. It's huge that they did not allow a touchdown. Now, going into next week, Thursday night, the Packers and Lions will play for the head of the division, both at 2-1. I think that's going to be an interesting game. Great game. The Packers kind of got fortunate because Derek Carr got injured, and I think that changed the whole momentum of that game. But we're not talking about the Packers. We're talking about the Lions. Third thing I learned about this team, and this is sort of because I just kind of want to pick something to critique. My third option, I've decided, is going to be something that I'm going to be a little bit critiquing on. And just some of the play calling is still a little off, and you can make this complaint about any team, but especially that 3rd and 1. They lined up like they were going to run the ball. Surprise, surprise. They run the ball, and they run the ball with the fullback who ran right into the line and didn't go nowhere on 3rd and 1 when you kind of want to get your offense going. I just wish that teams would stop calling that play. It's such a dumb play. The reason why it's so dumb is because if you're going to run on 4th down, you really should spread it out and give your running back, like, I'm in my head, this is what I'm thinking. You got Gibbs, right? Because he's fast, elusive, and electric. Put him in a position where he can be fast, elusive, electric to gain that 1 yard. You got St. Brown, who is elusive, he's quick, he's electric. Put him in a position where he can make a play. But I just don't understand why you give the carry to the fullback when you know the fullback, he's not going to make guys miss. His whole purpose is going to run you over. Now, in theory, they should be able to run you over for a yard, but that isn't what happened. So that's kind of my critique for when it comes to the Lions. I just wish, especially that play, I didn't like some of the play calling, a little suspect, but it wasn't if that's the worst I can come up with. You can say that about any team, any game. And also, too, the offense at times seems to, this year more than last, and maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought that offense was a little bit more consistent last year. And this year, it seems like that offense goes through ups and downs. It's like they score 13 in one half, and then in the third quarter, they don't put up any points, and then they score 7 in the fourth. And it's like, I just kind of remember this team. They were 4th in offense last year. They averaged, I want to say 30.4 points a game last year, or something ridiculous like that. But they were 3rd. They were 3rd in offense regardless. 4th in offense regardless. And I just don't know why it seems this year they're having trouble. My guess is their receiver depth isn't very good this year as it was last year. It wasn't that great either, but they had DJ Charks, like you take one guy away and then all of a sudden you move everybody down. Maybe that's why. Otherwise, I don't quite know. Just another tidbit on the defense. The Falcons are known for running the ball, and they kept B.J. Robinson and Tyler Algier in check. They combined for 45 yards total between the two of them. So 17 carries, 45 yards. I think that's pretty good. Excellent job by the Lions today. I am excited to see what they do moving forward on Thursday. Huge game, Packers-Lions. Looking forward to it. Let's go Detroit. Let me know in the comments down below some takeaways that you felt like you took away from this game. Detroit beating the Atlanta Falcons at home, going 2-1, and now we'll get the Packers. So let me know in the comments down below, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.